Among these endless streams, naught is what it seems. Beasts lurk in the shadows, claiming many a soul. Beware these dark waters, they will swallow you whole.
Hey everyone, Chrono Pinoy X here once again, back with another Monster Hunter video, and welcome back to another locale history video where we explore the historic events that have occurred in the locales introduced within Monster Hunter Rise. Previously, we took a look at the locale known as the Frost Islands, and we took a look at the historic events that happened in this location. If you want to go ahead and check out that video, as well as the one for Shrine Ruins, I've gone ahead and put a link in the description below so you can go ahead and check them out for yourself. Now today, we're going to take a look at a returning locale in Rise, which is the Flooded Forest. The Flooded Forest was introduced in 3rd generation Monster Hunter, starting with Monster Hunter Tri and making it all the way back in Monster Hunter Rise. What exactly happened in the Flooded Forest that made the locale into what it is today? We're going to take a look at some key characteristics regarding this locale, as well as the story this location has to offer to get a better understanding on the history in this particular location. This, everyone, is the history of the Flooded Forest. The Flooded Forest, an absolutely iconic location many veteran hunters who were around 3rd generation would remember as a locale where they could take on large monsters completely submerged underwater due to high water levels, hence the name of the location. Making its return in Rise, the water levels within the Flooded Forest have shallowed down to a certain level, allowing hunters to take on monsters without needing to swim. With the reduced water levels within the area, new discoveries were made, one in particular being a unique form of endemic life which hunters take advantage of. These are known as giganas. Giganas are ferocious carnivorous fish which lurk in the waters and would go completely ballistic over a piece of raw meat. Hunters take advantage of these fishes by providing them with raw meat and luring monsters over their feeding ground in order to deal damage to monsters. When giganas go on a feeding frenzy, neither hunter nor monster is safe, as the fishes would attack both parties relentlessly. Hence caution is needed when utilizing these endemic life. Despite the Flooded Forest being explored numerous times in the past, the giganas themselves are considered to be a more recent discovery, and through the messages left behind within the locale, we get a better understanding on the wholesome historic event that would lead to the discovery of these carnivorous fish. The messages tell the tale of the one who discovered these endemic life in the Flooded Forest, and it goes as follows. Long ago, a feline came to the Flooded Forest seeking a giant fish of lore, but he was tailed by a meddlesome melynx. When the feline wasn't looking, the melynx snatched his bags, leaving him with nothing but a single piece of meat. Defeated, the feline collapsed in frustration when he realized that there was a hungry snake right under his nose. The feline tore off some meat for the snake and it hissed happily. "Feed the stream and it will feed you." Confused, the feline nevertheless threw his last morsel into the stream. Then, suddenly, thousands of fish appeared. It was not the mythic creature he'd sought, but he was delighted anyway, and filled his pockets to the brim. The greedy melynx, seeing this, said to itself, "If I throw in a bunch, I'll get even more fish back for myself." He gathered a heap of meat and tossed it all in, only to be greeted by the gaping maw of the legendary giant fish. The melynx took one look at that monster and fled for its life, dropping the feline's belongings in the process. And so, having seen the fabled fish, the feline thanked his serpentine friend and set off in search of new adventures. As we have just seen, the discovery of giganas in the Flooded Forest was thanks to an adventurous feline who discovered the endemic life during an unfortunate situation. With this information in mind, more than likely, the feline would spread the word about how the flooded forest aided them in their time of need, and eventually, the news of their discovery would spread across the world, and in time, it would reach the people of Kamura village, whose hunters would take advantage of the information in order to use the fish in the stream, but for a completely different purpose. Now, what's interesting here is that during the feline's adventure, it's stated that the villainous melons actually helped the feline find the giant fish of lore as well, even if it was completely unintentional. We don't exactly know what the so-called giant fish of lore is, but we can potentially narrow it down to one of the monsters recently introduced in the flooded forest. It's possible that this giant fish of lore is our Maripacine wyvern, that is, the Juratodus. Juratodus are considered to be ancient by design, and whilst originally, researchers couldn't confirm the existence of Juratodus in the old world, now we can pretty much say that it's 100% confirmed since we are fighting the monster in a location that's considered part of the old world. What's also fascinating here is that it's possible that the Juratodus have been in the old world for an extremely long time now. However, because we don't see them in the region previously, some have speculated that they possibly evolved into Lavasiots when migrating to the old world, hence why it was difficult to spot a Juratodus in the old world until recently. Nevertheless, from discovering the giganas all the way up to finding the giant fish of lore, our adventurous feline protagonist in this wholesome story really made quite a discovery that would have both hunters and researchers alike reeling for every bit of information about the flooded forest. And that, everyone, is the history of the flooded forest that would give rise to new discoveries within this region that were never seen before. Once again, very different from the other two locales, as the wholesome historic event in the flooded forest are all about discovering the locale's hidden blessings rather than shaping it into what it is today. Perhaps there are more hidden secrets that are yet to be discovered in the flooded forest that would give hunters the edge in combat or researchers the answers to questions that remain unanswered. But for the time being, what do you think about the flooded forest in Monster Hunter Rise, both as a locale as well as the history behind this region? Let us know in the comments below your thoughts and opinions regarding the entirety of the flooded forest that makes its return in Monster Hunter Rise. Now, with all of that being said, if you enjoyed these videos, please consider hitting the like on the video itself and subscribing to the channel as well as hitting that bell icon so you can go ahead and catch up on any future Monster Hunter content that I might be doing or any other games that I might be playing in future. Until then, I hope you enjoyed this video, thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Onward and upward.